Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel. So today, before I start the tutorial video, I want to give you a quick announcement, is that I will be hosting a mini sketch session on Zoom this Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so the sign up link is right down here in the description. And the session will last for about 60 minutes. And in this session, I will show you how to draw a three-dimensional Christmas candlelight ornament. So this is basically a complex cube shape. And then we'll paint with watercolors on top. I will show you how to use watercolors to bring out the bright candlelight in contrast with the dark areas around it. It's going to be really fun. So I hope to see you there. And in today's video, I will show you my full process sketching this full page spread in my art journal. Let's go! So this is a vintage snow globe that I've been keeping for a few years now. I got it from a family friend who moved to a new house and they had to abandon a lot of old stuff. And today I'm gonna sketch it in my art journal. It's a little bit challenging because the water inside is not crystal clear anymore because it's too old. Okay, so here is my blank art journal page spread. So I'm using hand gestures to think about where I wanna put the snow globe. I think I'm gonna do a full page here. Using hand gestures to measure the major parts, size and placement. And when drawing a circle, I feel it's more secure to draw it this way, to draw the left curve and then the right curve. The upper part of this glass snow globe is being covered by a little ornament. So just draw the details of that little ornament. The bottom of the globe is connected to this very nice detailed little landscape stand. Okay, and this part of the drawing process is really fun and easy. So I'm drawing this little snowman and this little house behind. Just pay attention to those simple geometric shapes and connecting one piece of scene after another. So behind the house, there's a little Christmas tree, and there's another evergreen tree here. What's beside that? There's a little gap, and here is a bridge with more evergreen trees behind. More trees on the right upper hand side. And there's another house here on the corner. The little lanes and the other side of the bridge. And just draw these tracks on the snow, the walls, dividing the upper and lower levels. It's like a hill. Some wrinkles around the bottom that I see. And that's it for the drawing part, for the base. And now I'm just drawing these little broken lines to show the shine of glass, just like drawing other glass vessels. And now I'm starting to draw Santa inside, starting with the hat on top, the face, and then connecting the face with the his mittens and the beard, which is kind of like a round triangle shape, and the other mitten, and the scroll. It's like a list of gifts that he's holding. And then his leg and his boot which is solid black. Just color it with solid black ink. Add a little details, a little snowflakes. Okay, and now I'm connecting these gift boxes beside Santa. These are like little three-dimensional cube shapes. And then there's a teddy bear below the boxes. And some other details like ribbons. Just following the shapes that I see instead of stressing too much about trying to show what they really are. Add a few more shining streaks. And I think that's it. Now I'm going to write down the day and the date. And write a little note about it. Now I'm ready to paint watercolors. I'm gonna paint the glass globe first. So I just wetted the area first with clear water and adding these leftover colors of mix of ultramarine blue and purple and a little bit green. And this color is very similar to Payne's gray. I really like mixing my own gray with the three colors. And as you can see, I left some thin streaks white to show the shine of the glass. And now I'm adding these yellows and reds that I see on the little ornaments inside. Red for Santa's robe and his hat. And brown for these cabins on the base. So I like to paint the warm colors first. And some more brown, orange brown for the gift bag. This part is really fun because we don't have to stress about, realism. Just put the colors on. Now adding blue here for that gift box. And yellow ochre for the face of Santa. His mittens. So this part takes a little bit of patience because we have to switch between the different colors by cleaning the brush and grabbing a new color. But it's really fun, it's rewarding to see the colors emerging. And now painting these evergreen trees with Viridian green mixed with a little bit burnt sienna, depending on the shade. And use the leftover color of blue turquoise for the snowy lanes or tracks. And also using the same color to add shadows for the base of this snow globe, because the bottom is actually a three-dimensional sculpture with a lot of three-dimensional reliefs coming up. So there should be these shadows suggesting these reliefs standing up. And by doing this, we're making this snow globe more realistic than just like cardboard cutout. And as you can see, I'm also using my medium tip Sakura brand water brush for finer details. So for sharper details, it's great to use a smaller paintbrush. And now I'm moving on to the smaller details inside the snow globe and adding a lot of shade color around the bottom and also around the upper left hand side and right hand side, and using pretty small brush strokes just to make sure I'm not overpainting, being aware of the brighter areas and highlight streaks. And just adding a few little brush strokes around the base, here and there, and painting the top ornament, something yellowish, and add a few more colors, brushstrokes here and there inside the snow globe, the shadow part of these gift boxes, and the pouch, and shadows for Santa's face, and around his robe, his hat, a little bit shade of red by mixing a little bit green. So just adding some more darker grays around the left-hand side of the snow globe, because most of the light source comes from the right-hand side, so the left-hand side looks a bit darker. And just adding some more shade colors and final little colors that I see around the base. And finally, wetting the shadow area and paint the shadow with ultramarine blue and purple and darker around the edge. I think that's it. Okay, and finally I'm going to do some spattering with red paint and green paint, just to make this sketch look even more lively. And here is the look of the finished sketch. So the second snowfall of this winter arrived today, and around the afternoon the snow stopped and the pocket of beautiful mint blue sky is showing outside the west window. I'm gonna sketch it in my art journal. I think I forgot to film the beginning part of my drawing, the scenery. So here I am in the middle of a drawing. And so I started drawing the evergreen tree on the right hand side first, and then I drew the house contour outline behind the tree and the other house on the left hand side. So that's my process. And now I'm adding more details for this house behind this evergreen tree. Just the window frames and the window details, pressing a little bit harder around the edge of the windows to give it more dimension. And now I am adding some more trees behind these houses, just focusing on the contour outlines, cone shapes, and these empty, bare branches and twigs, clusters of trees behind, and some more bare branches and twigs. I just draw as much as I can. I'm not including every single branch that's out there. And that's it. Now I'm going to paint with watercolors. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of lemon yellow and mixing a lot of water into it. And some medium yellow because I want to show the sunshine reflecting on this nice puffy cloud up here. It's pretty watery. I mix a lot of water in it. And some more yellow, sunshine yellow around the bottom. Grabbing some fresh cerulean blue. Nice and fresh. Love this color. And just wet on wet around the middle of the sky. And just let the blue bleed with the yellow. I don't really mind about the blooming because it's just part of the nature of watercolors. We need to let go of bloomings to give our paintings more liveliness. So just let go, no worries. We don't have to be exactly the same as what's out there, but we want to capture the spirit of nature by using the techniques of the art medium that we're using. And remember to let go. Letting go is a really important mindset in painting watercolors. And now I'm doing wet on wet, a mix of ultramarine blue and purple on top of the cloud, on top of the lemon yellow. This cloud has a lot of shade colors in it, but I want to leave the bottom edge nice and shiny. That's what I see, that's what I feel. And there's a piece of dark cloud around the horizon, so just adding that. Okay, so now I am just painting these houses with leftover green, a little bit brown mixed into radiant green. Okay, and now I'm just using the leftover blue purple to add a very light pale layer of shade for the snow on the rooftop, just to give it a more realistic look, because snow on a cloudy day is not perfectly white, paper white. It has a tiny bit of gray on top. Okay, now I'm ready to paint this evergreen tree. Because the snow is not that heavy, there's just a little bit of snow on a couple of the branches of this evergreen tree. And I'm painting very loosely and leaving some spots and streaks white. And I'm using the same color, the mix of radiant green with a little bit burnt sienna and a little bit ultramarine blue to get this cold kind of green color. And because the windows are like mirrors reflecting the tree color around it, that's why it has the similar color to the evergreen tree. And just adding some final little dashes for the little chimneys or pipes sticking up from the rooftop. Just tiny little dashes, no broad washes, some shadows around the house, and not over touching the rooftop at all. I think that's it for this sketch. And here's the look of my art journal spread so far. I'm going to sketch my current read there. So right now I'm reading Anne of Green Gables. It's a famous classic, but this is actually my first time reading it, and I've been really enjoying it. I really like the positive nature of Anne. So I'm sort of visualizing the size and placement first before I start drawing. So a book is a flat shape of a prism. As you can see here, I'm drawing the three sides of this prism shape, making it look really 3D. And adding the inner details for the spine. Add some page textures. And now it's just the relaxing and fun part. Drawing the title, the font. So this font is actually a little bit tricky to draw. I'm just trying my best to draw each of these letters weaving together. And so when we're drawing a book cover or a package of food or other things, we don't have to be exactly the same. So sometimes we can draw a little bit big or a little bit small than the real thing. It's fine. But we want to capture the visual image on there, and that's good enough. We don't have to be exactly accurate in size for the inner details. And there are a lot of florals on this book cover, but I'm not drawing every single one of them because, because this drawing is very small, it's quick. I just want to capture as much as I can, but not everything. Just relax. Add the details for the spine and just draw a little platform behind it. That's it for the drawing. And now I'm ready to paint watercolors. Just wetting the whole book cover with clear water, and the background is mainly cerulean blue. It matches really well with the sky that I sketched above. Really nice harmony here on this art journal page. A little bit leftover color for the pages. And using these lemon yellow mixed with medium yellow for the title. Some red orange for the florals here and there. Nice and loose with a little choppy brush strokes. We don't have to color exactly inside those flower shapes. And some green here and there as I see for the leaves, for the green parts. some pink here and there for the flowers, and just let the colors bloom together. Again, this is the quality of watercolors. Just let it go, be loose, be playful, and just enjoy the process of letting go. Paint the spine and leave the edge of the spine, the book cover, shiny white. And this time I'm not adding shadows for this book because I want to keep this book clean around the edge. And now I'm going to sketch my cup of coffee and the crispy, creamy cake. So the shape of a cup is obviously a cylinder. The top is an oval and the bottom line is nice and round. This is the way that I like to draw the handle with rim and the inside coffee line. And now there's a little bit overlapping over here with the package of the cake. It's roughly the shape of a square, sideways. And now just add these package details and the Chinese character on here. It means sun cake. Okay, and just add these floral petals. The inside of the cake seen through the plastic package. And a few more florals. A little bit hatching to suggest shade inside the package. And for the cup too. Just using very simple light vertical lines, pressing very lightly. Okay, and that was a really quick drawing, and now I'm ready to add watercolors. So just adding some lemon yellow for the cake and orange yellow for the coffee. Remember to leave that white streak white. And now just using pink to paint the package of the cake here and there. Add a very light layer of pink reflecting on the cup. And quickly paint the shade inside and outside the cup and the package with leftover colors of ultramarine blue, purple. Add some more refined details for the cup. And for the coffee, another layer of dark yellow-brown. Just give some dimension for the cake inside the package too. Another layer of shade for the cup. And finally, I'm going to paint the shadows. Darker around the edges. Nice gradients by adding a little bit of water to let it come down a little bit, and that's it. Okay, so here's the look of my finished art journal spread. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates, and I will see you again very soon. Have a great day.